Let's see what's going on with this 22-year-old that infiltrated a White Bear High School and played on the varsity football team.
Last hour, school leaders laid out just how a 22-year-old man was able to fraudulently enroll at White Bear Lake High School. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Leah McClain.
I'm Paul Folger. That man faced a judge this afternoon on unrelated charges, but we have team coverage. Lindsey Brown digging into what goes into enrolling someone in a Minnesota high school.
Let's start, though, with Eric Chaloux and the latest on the investigation and this new update from the school district. Eric?
Yeah, Lee and Paul, this new information coming in this afternoon from the White Bear Lake School District. They say that Kelvin Lupke enrolled under a false identity and attended class here for 19 days and also was on the football team going to 3 practices. The district says, though, he claimed to be a homeless, unaccompanied youth. The White Bear Lake police chief also saying their investigation continues to see if there are any possible criminal violations. I'm going to read to you the chief saying, looking to see possible fraud, forgery, and unlawful conduct involving minors. Kelvin Lupke, listed in court records as 22 years old, faced a Washington County judge Thursday on a probation violation from a 2023 indecent exposure case. The White Bear Lake School District confirms Lupke is the focus of a White Bear Lake police investigation involving a man who attended the high school as a student. 5 Eyewitness News spoke with a friend at Lupke's address, listed on court records, who asked not to be identified, saying he allows him to live there after meeting him at a church youth group. That man says he spoke with Lupke from jail last night, saying he had no clue how serious it is, the allegations against him attending the high school. The friend says he's a confused young man. He thinks he's younger than his age. I think he believes that. On Tuesday, the White Bear Lake principal notified parents that a person over 21 years old is allegedly to have enrolled in our high school using fraudulent documentation and a false identity.
I got a question real quick. If he believes that he's actually 17 instead of 22, then why did he create fake documents and use fake documents to try to prove that he was 17? If you actually believe that, wouldn't you just not have to create anything fake? You believe it, so why would you have to fake it? You see where I'm getting at with this? Like, if that's what you actually think you are, you wouldn't have to go through any lengths to try to prove it. Because if you are something, there's no proof that's needed. It's obvious. So he should actually went in there and just said, you know, I'm 17. And then handed over his ID that said he's a grown man with a driver's license and a criminal background in indecent exposure and messing with minors and all that. I think this is insane to even begin to try to be on his side in any of this.
That didn't sit well with parents we spoke to on Tuesday. Well, I'm furious.
It was just really scary. That's very scary.
The district wrote to parents, we have determined that while enrolling this individual, we followed our enrollment process, which is as rigorous as state law allows.
That's a joke. Look what happened. There's a 22-year-old kid sitting next to our 17-year-old, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old daughters. Rigorous, my sorry.
Regarding the allegations of how a 22-year-old could have enrolled with the needed documents,
you're not sorry at all.
A friend told 5 Eyewitness News, quote, I didn't think he was that clever. Well, the district saying that he used fraud.
Well, you didn't think he was that clever, but he thought you were very, very stupid, and he was right.
Fraudulent documents to enroll. They're looking into their enrollment process. That coming from the superintendent late this afternoon. Notices going out to parents about what's going on here. Again, the White Bear Lake Police Department continues to investigate. We're live here outside of White Bear Lake High School. I'm Eric Chaloux, 5 Eyewitness News.
All right, Eric, thank you. As you just mentioned here, the White Bear Lake School District says that its enrollment process is in line with state law.
So Lindsey Brown joins us now live to show us what that looks like exactly, Lindsey.
Well, guys, the latest update from the superintendent, again, says this man claimed to be a homeless, unaccompanied youth. The superintendent says the law requires immediate enrollment of eligible students, which he claimed to be even if they can't provide standard documents such as academic records, immunizations, or proof of residency because they claim to be homeless. Now, here's how the standard student enrollment works in White Bear Lake. Parents can start by entering information like name, address, and phone number on the new student enrollment page online, or they can fill out a paper enrollment form that looks like this one. This is for grades 9 through 12. Either way, parents ultimately have to prove the student's age, address, and immunization history. State law allows districts to ask for documentation, including a passport, birth certificate, immunization records, and documents from previous schools. The superintendent says there was no reason to believe the documents the man gave them were fraudulent, adding the birth certificate he submitted from another country had watermarking and official stamps or seals. Right now, we're working to learn what history there is in Minnesota with high school enrollment using falsified documents like the ones we're hearing about. Live in the newsroom, Lindsey Brown, 5 Eyewitness.
Well, Lindsey, can you keep us updated with what you find out? I'm sure you're doing very, very good investigative work to try to figure that out. But, I mean, for them to say that you're looking at a document from another country that you've never seen before, but just because it has watermarks and different identifying marks on it that make it look legit, you're going to believe that is legit?
Come on, man.
If you've never seen something to begin with, then you can only believe it to be authentic from the first time you see it. And then thereafter, you would believe that anything that you've seen afterwards that looks different is the fake. Wouldn't that be logic? Because you're introduced, for the most part, all right, think about it like this. Somebody gives you a document from Kenya, right? It's a birth certificate. And you look at it. This is what's going to be burned into your mind. It's going to be like, all right, this is what the real document looks like. Then another person comes over to you and they say, hey, here's my document from Kenya of my birth certificate. Is this good? And they're going to say, whoa, whoa, whoa. I know what the real one looks like, or I've seen one before and it didn't look like this. Then you begin to start to try to comprehend what's going on. But just the way that our brains operate, we're going to think the first one that we seen, that we were introduced to the first time, is the real thing. And because of that, the school was not very investigative like Lindsey Brown here to try to go ahead and figure out what's going on. Maybe a Google search, maybe trying to find somebody that also has a birth certificate from another country that's the same and try to compare documents before just allowing him into school. And the way that they doing the online thing, you could have just thrown my iPad like, look, we're gonna let you enroll because it's our rules to let you come into the school. You're homeless, you're in a bad situation. We want to get you your education. As a 17-year-old, it's important. However, we're gonna have to throw you this iPad and we'll let you be in class remotely. And after we figure out who the hell you are, and we'll let you come on campus. But they didn't do that. So now the school is going to have to begin to do damage control and try to figure out if they can get themselves out of the situation without taking a whole bunch of scrutiny and possibly lawsuits and different things like that. So, that's what we got over there with the school. We're not going to go deep into that right now because, we covered it extensively yesterday, but that was the latest update on that